What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're going over the newest operation hit World of Warships, and that's Operation Hermes. Now, if you've never done an operation, all you have to do is go up right next to battle, click on this. It'll probably be on random battle, co-op, whatever you normally play. Click on Operation, and it'll be this week's Operation Hermes. Now, if you want to do any of the other operations, you still can. I believe the one thing that's different, though, is the operation of the week gets a matchmaking. So if you don't go in with an entire group of your friends, clanmates, whatever, it'll match you up with other people queuing in. If you go back to one of the older ones, you actually have to go in with a full group, or I believe just have less ships to go in. So if you go back into an older one, you need an entire group. This one will actually match you up with other people. And this one is, of course, escort the squad leader by flagship Ruan to designated sector, make sure the gold is transported safely. Now, one of the things about this is normally it's limited to a few kinds of ships, but this one's really limited on how many ships you can take. So you can either get the Leon, the tier 7 battleship, the Gascon, the tier 8 premium, or the Richelieu, the tier 8 tree ship. So the new French battleships that are out, you can use those and be relatively successful with it, or one of the tier 7 cruisers from the US, UK, or French lines. Now, on this one, I use the Flint, so I know most people won't have the Flint. What this is it's kind of based around planes and lots of destroyers, so stuff with good AA and stuff with good rates of fire, maybe radar, stuff like that. So, of course, if you don't have the Flint, not many people are going to have it. Stuff like the Fiji, normal tree stuff, Fiji, Pensacola would still even be good because it has good AA. Atlanta, if you have it, of course. Indianapolis, because it has the radar. And Belfast. Really, any of the cruisers are going to be good, and both of the battleships are going to be good. Now, the more battleships you have, I think it changes up how the whole thing goes through. So maybe try to limit how many battleships you bring. I think we ended up going with like 2 or 3 in ours, and we went kind of cruiser heavy. And but anything with high AA and good rates of fire will take out this. Like, again, I use the Flint. Now, of course, most people probably won't have it. But let's dive into the actual gameplay and get down, and we'll go over what you have to do for this operation. Now, here we are actually in the operation, and as you can see, one thing is, thanks to my clanmate, you can't take friendly damage, which is nice. It doesn't knock out any of your AA mounts or anything like that, so you take no friendly damage, and he really wanted to show off that that could not happen, so thank you, Kepro, for that. So in our run right now, we have a pretty stacked, ship-wise, we have a pretty stacked group. We have Richelieu, a Gascon, a Leon, an Atlanta, 2 Flints, and a Belfast. So we're pretty stacked on radar, pretty stacked on AA, and what we ended up doing is basically make a triangle of one Flint on one side, I was on the bottom side, and Atlanta on the right side. So we had this massive, massive bubble of planes coming through. And as you can see, they're tier 1 planes right here, so they're very low life. So what you want to do is, in each operation, there are tasks that you want to do, and then the better that you do, the better that you get. So you can go from 1 stars if you even fail it, all the way up to 5 stars, which is the end. And then once you 5-star, if you want to repeat it just for fun, you can, but you've gotten all the rewards. So every time you get a new star, you get the max of rewards. Now, this is kind of the first one too, and I actually kind of like this idea. First of all, I like the operations. A lot of people have fun with them. There's a massive PvE player base in this game, and I think the operation really does kind of fill that role of having a good thing for the PvE players to do, and just get away from just playing with your clanmates and having fun with your clanmates and kind of talking about this, because this is something I hadn't done, but my clanmates had, so it was a lot of fun. But kind of cool, as you can see, it's kind of foggy right here, and what that is this circle, and that is a moving storm, which is actually pretty cool. I like this a lot more than the cyclone idea. I'm hoping World of Warships maybe gets rid of the cyclone and adds this. I like this because it doesn't just stay there, and it's not completely blocking sight. It just kind of makes it harder to see, and it moves throughout the map, so it's completely random. I kind of like this idea, and I think it's actually pretty cool. So it's the first time we've really kind of seen this idea, and really kind of interested in what Wargaming will do in the future with it. But as you can see, the tasks and the primary tasks and secondary tasks, the secondaries are the ones you want to achieve if you want to get all the 5 stars, but the main task, escort battleship Ruan to the designated sector. So you're going to start down here, and you are going to end here. Make sure that Ruan doesn't lose more than 50% of her hit points, which is fine. And then having at least 3 allied battleships survive and then we have 4. So what you want to do is Iran counts as 1, and then whatever battleships you bring, those each count as 1 as well. So we need at least 3 allied battleships. We brought 4. So in destroying enemy ships is 3 of 20. So one thing that actually happens is, and the reason why you want high AA is because of the amount. And as you can see, this is very, very loud. Actually, I might turn the volume down really fast because it's so loud. So let's just do this. Let's just do this for this video at least. What you want to do is you want to kind of set up situations where you have good AA, because what ends up happening is those planes come in, and if those planes get all the way through, those first planes, then they're going to send more and more planes. So you'll eventually see, I think one's coming up pretty quick, of the strike sets, and if those get through, they're obviously going to do a ton of damage because they're pretty massive. I think there are 2 sets of USN torp bombers, I think 2 sets of USN dive bombers. It's a lot of planes going out, so those could easily just wreck your battleships, and you really want to have stuff with high AA to take that down. So you have the Flint, if you have the Atlanta, if you have anything with extremely high AA or like an AA spec, if you are going with a cruiser, I would spec it as much AA as possible, and really just shred those planes, because if those first ones get through, then you are definitely going to have some trouble on your hands with how many planes are going to get through, and hopefully onto your battleships. So but right now, first set of ships we had were here. The next set of ships were over here, and then this is kind of the big set right here, where I think this is the battleship set that's going to spawn over on the right side. So yeah, the right here. So these are the big German battleships. This is probably the biggest set of ships, the most HP. But I was able to set up here, and of course these are bots, so they don't really shoot into smoke. One thing that's also kind of interesting is, even if you have a priority target, it does not let you know that they are shooting at you. So just a heads up on that, it does not let you know that they're shooting at you. And I was like, what the hell, he ended up still shooting at me. So if they're aiming at you, it doesn't let you know. So just a heads up on that. But they're PvE bots, they're gonna kind of sail in a straight line, and you'll basically be okay. But just farm them down. They're set up there. I think our Belfast ends up getting lit up, but I'm just kind of posted up here with torps, just waiting for them to go through. I'm not too worried, even that I'm spotted. And what the bot's going to do is they focus on the closest target. So if whatever's closest is going to be fine. So if you have one of your battleships tanking, that's fine. I'm just kind of chilling in smoke right now, and trying to get some distance on these guys and do as much damage as possible. Even with inertia fuse Flint, the AP is still pretty nutty and can still chunk these guys down pretty hard. But if you just have a couple torping cruisers right there, hold off on their torps, you're gonna do just fine. And I knew this guy was going around this corner. They're never gonna brake check you or anything like that, so gray line is going to be exactly where they're gonna be, so you'll be okay there. But still, just kind of keeping the pressure up, and keeping maybe having a couple cruisers or a battleship push out. So you can see the Belfast and I kind of pushed up and took the beating on these, where the group kind of stayed back and just kind of sniped them out. As right now we're in the thunderstorm, so we were kind of okay. So down he goes, 2 down already, and I think our Rouen is still full life, so not too bad. They still do launch their torps even as battleships, so be aware of that. And as you can see, gray line, that will hit him, and then we'll put some more torps into him as well. So I think he did there. So this is the first strike group. So even though they're tier 1 planes, there's a lot of them. So anything, I'm not full AA, I'm more of a damage dealing captain's build right now. But yeah, three torp bombers, even though they're tier 1, that can still do a massive 4 actually. So wait until they get about 5-6 kilometers, pop the AA, and you'll see we'll just absolutely shred. The Flint, just like in Atlanta, has insane AA, and 4 squads, they're going to go for the Rouen, and yeah, they're going to be gone pretty quick. So drag them away, start up. So as you can see, on our well, we're kind of all bunched up here, but I was off on this side. We had 1 cruiser here, and then we had, well, actually they're both in the middle right now, but one's going to move towards the front. So we had this triangle of good AA, and 28 planes came in. I shot down 27, so on to the next one. One thing that's also good, as you can see right here, there is the Ruan will put up a actual repair, and you can repair all the way up to 100. I believe it ticks for like 300 per. So if you have taken some damage, as the Belfast and I have, you can move right up and then actually heal up all the way to full. This is only temporary. This is not a permanent thing, so get your heals while you can, because once you start moving again, you are actually going to move up. It might be one of the other support ships that's doing this, but you can move up, and yeah, 300 per tick. So you'll get healed up pretty quick, but this is only temporary. So get the heals while you can, and then move on to the next one. So as you can see, I'm kind of still hanging out onto the right side, because I think another squad of strike is going to be coming in pretty soon. And also, don't get in the way of the Ruan. You want that ship to be moving kind of as fast as possible, and because the more and more strike, the more and more ships, you know, all that kind of stuff, you still want to get all the secondary tasks done, but you don't want to get in the way of the ship, because if you do, it'll take a different route, and it could potentially even aggro. Some of the guys were saying that you could actually even aggro more planes and more ships. So if certain planes get through, more planes are going to come on. See, there you go. The Ruan is assuming defensive formation, slowing down for ship repairs, and then boom, time to move on full speed. So that repair is gone now, and the next set of ships are coming. So, but yeah, just keeping a good formation, kind of keep your battleships in the middle, cruisers out on the side, and then your cruisers can work down these destroyers before they can even get in torp range, and you should be good to go. But yeah, anything with high rate of fire is gonna do great here. And I'm just kind of launching torps on cooldown, waiting for that next strike group. As you can see, I've kind of slowed down to hold down the south side, compared to the group kind of moving up. And this is the formation we ended up taking. So we had a Belfast here. This is one of our Atlantas. We had an Atlanta right in the middle for backup, and then I'm on the south side. So not too bad. But we're doing fine right now. We shot down 28 aircraft, which is just one of the strikes. So that's one thing that you'll still end up getting that no matter what if you are going full speed. We never slowed down or never slowed Ruan down, and we were still able to get this done. Our battleships are fine. We get pretty close to losing one, but since we had the extra, so maybe like we ran a 3 battleship, 4 cruisers, so maybe bringing that 3rd battleship is going to be good, just to guarantee that that you can get through even if you lose one of your players. Now, if you're doing a random group, there's only so much you can do with matchmaking, but if you are running with your clanmates, then you can. So next strike group's coming in. This one is dive bombers, and again, wait until they get close, and we're just going to watch the Flint do its work. And I was basically in the perfect spot. They have to go right over all of my AA, my long range, my short range, all of my AA. And again, 23 planes knocked down. That's 50 total, and that actually destroys the enemy. That we got that done right there. So one of the last bosses you have to do, and this is where we kind of start to spread out a little bit, is take down the last aircraft carrier. So we killed off the aircraft, and now is kind of like the last push. And as you can see right there on the mini map, that is the Graf Zeppelin. So Graf Zeppelin is going to be accompanied with, I think it's all cruisers. I don't know if there's any battleships this round, but I think it's all cruisers. Prince Eugen. So they are going to be higher tier planes. They are going to be higher tier cruisers. So this is where your battleships can really shine. They do shoot HE, and they do shoot at a decent rate of fire. So it was kind of brutal for some of our cruisers. We actually ended up losing a couple people, but you don't get punished for losing cruisers. You only really get punished for losing battleships. Now, sometimes in the past, in different operations, the CV has just sprinted off in different directions. If you guys ever played the Halloween event, it just sprinted away, and that was one of the things you had to do, so it was really annoying. This one apparently still can do that. Go way off to the right side and just run away. For us, it didn't. It kind of came right at us, and our battleships absolutely just smashed it. So get ready. Maybe once you kind of get through that, maybe rotate a cruiser north just to guarantee that you won't have that problem. It's not needed, but maybe just on the safe part, once that healing's done, since the other strike is going to come here. Now, this could all be random on when stuff kind of comes out. Maybe just to guarantee that CV kill, maybe try to get one of your cruisers. Maybe the Agla would be really good at it. If you bring an Agla, you could get them to kind of rotate it since it's fast and kind of head this way, and just guarantee that you can get that kill on that CV Um, right now, it's all German ships, so Graf Zeppelin, Graf Spee, the Eugen, all the DDs. Basically, just push in and keep the Ruan safe, and all the strike is going to be at the north. So everyone just rotates kind of the north side. Everyone kills them off, and it's no big deal. We just need a few more kills on ships, which we'll get pretty easily because there's plenty there. Graf Zeppelin goes down, so that's always good. It will continuously send planes. It doesn't really run out. So just continuing to push and continuing to get damage out on these guys is good. So I'm just kind of pushing straight towards them because there's no reason to kind of hang back. And I think there's one more big strike of planes because I remember getting a lot more planes than this. So there might be one more aircraft strike on these guys. So I'm kind of waiting to see where that appears so you guys will know. But again, I know not everyone's going to have the Flint, but this thing is like the perfect ship for this. Atlanta is also extremely good. Because you can really mess with the bots because they just completely derp out if there's smoke. They don't have the ability to really shoot into smoke like normal players would. And right now, some of our battleships taking a little bit of damage just because there's a lot. This is, you know, the operations kind of train you to have a good situation, and then at the end it's this, okay, we have to hold on, and you might end up losing some ships. So major forces enemy fleet were destroyed, so we killed most of their guys. Right now we're just cleaning up. And I think a couple of our guys just get a little unlucky. Like one of our Flint takes an extra tort from all the DDs, and we just kind of have some fun at the end. Luckily, this isn't a operation that needs like everyone. As you can see from the south, that's the last strike. So luckily, I kind of chilled here. I knew there was one more strike. So 3 main strike groups. So just keep that in mind. And for us, they all came from the south. So the last one. And I'm just going to pop AA for that, help our battleships out. They're a little bit far away, but they are all tier 1. So anything with decent AA, which the French tier 7 and tier 8 battleships all have, we'll be able to shoot down a decent amount of planes. So, but yeah, anything, like especially in Atlanta or Flint, we'll just absolutely obliterate those planes. Your AA rating's insane. So we end up with 63 plane kills. About 170 some damage, not too bad. I don't know what we end up with. I think 180 or something like that. We lost a couple ships, so not too bad. And our Ruan only took like 4k damage, so that was with our ability to just kind of focus fire them. Down goes those guys, and the Ruan is actually making it there. Now, once the Ruan makes it to that point, it actually needs to go off of the map, so it's not technically done yet. So it actually has to go a little bit farther than the point it actually says. But everything's basically dead, so it's no big deal for us. Last Hipper's going down. That Nürnberg's dead, and we have the York, and that's basically it with a couple more planes. Try to go out there. 63 plane kills, 175, 64. I think that's what we end up with, 64. And I think we're about to get the GG right here. And so if you end up doing all of those, and I remember I was really worried because our Gascon took 2 torps here, and I was like, oh crap, if we lose one, then what happens? And again, it's only 3, so it's the Ruan plus whatever battleships you take. That's gonna make it 3. So if you only bring 2 battleships, then yeah, they all have to survive. So as you can see, the Ruan is actually going off the map, so it has to go a little bit farther. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Just kind of run stuff with high AA, run stuff that can kill DDs, and then at the end, just run stuff that could tank. So boom, operation completed. GG easy as we finish off these last couple ships, and that's what we call a 5-star. So we shot down all the planes, our battleship survived, and we shot down we had a lot of fun doing it. So you can actually go out there, have a lot of fun, and play with your clanmates and get some rewards as well. I think you get some premium time, and I think you get some flags and stuff like that. But yeah, 5-star on it. Go out there, guys, have fun, enjoy the operation, and get it done while you still can. Again, if you have a group, let's say you have 3-4 guys, it'll fill you up with random players as long as it's the operational week. But if you don't, if you do it, let's say you go back and get a full group and go back to the other ones, it's going to be whatever your group is. I don't think the matchmaker works for those anymore. But anyways, just wanted to do a quick video. Get out there and get it done while it's still operational week. Go get your rewards and go get your 5-star on it and have fun doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.